everyone, Rose Wildsmith here. Today I'm going to show you how to make these wish sticks inspired by another YouTuber called Tracie Fox, and I'll link her video in the description. It's a way of making your wishes manifest as a physical object that you can then use in lots of different ways. So you may have an altar that you put it on, you may have a ritual that you do. It's also a nice thing you can do with kids. So this is my daughter's, she's 8 and she did this. You can give it as a gift as well, which is quite a nice thing to do. What you need to make this, first of all, you're going to need a stick. These are a few sticks that I've collected. This one has had the bark scraped off it. These ones don't have the bark scraped off, and you can see they've got lichen and stuff. So if you don't mind leaving that, you can just leave it. But if you don't want that, then you can scrape the bark off. Look for one that's fairly straight. You want one that's the right size for you. So first find your stick. And the second thing you'll need is some sort of fabric to wrap your stick. So with these two, I used silk sari yarn, which is strips of old saris that have been cut down and tied together into a ball of yarn. But if you don't have any of this, you could also use ribbon, or you could use any fabric really, just cut into thin strips. The next thing you'll need is something to secure the sari yarn down with. So on these we used silver and gold sparkly yarn. I also used some wire. So this is thin art wire. It comes in all sorts of different colours, as you can see. And then I also threaded onto the wire some beads. So you could embellish it with beads, with buttons, with little dangly things. Use your imagination. So the first thing you need to do is to make your wish. So you want to write it on a piece of paper that is small enough that you can wrap it around your stick. So my wish is good health for my family. Now I'm going to cut it into a little strip and then roll it around your stick. Yeah, I'm going to use blue for this one. So I'm going to start, just keep it all firmly held in place, and then start wrapping. All right, I'm going to just stick this down with a bit of masking tape just to keep it in place while I do the next bit. I'm going to put some sparkly thread on next. I think I'm going to go for gold. I'm just going to try and tie it off a little bit. The thread is disintegrating, help. Okay, I might just leave it then. Now we want some wire. So I've got some gold wire here, which might be quite nice. There's also some silver. Or I could go for blue or another colour. So it seems like this very thin wire is the best kind. I don't want anything that's too thick. So some of these are a bit too thick and it'll just be a bit cumbersome. So I think I'm going to go silver this time. So we want to put some beads on. So I think we want to take a bit out. So cut off a length that you think is roughly the right size. And then I'm going to start where the other one ended to try and secure this end. I'll wrap it around a few times. Okay, now I'm going to start winding it up and down like I did with the other things, and as I go I'm going to add some beads. I've picked out a few beads here. I'm going to just start stringing them on. Bring them up to where I was. Okay, I'm going to finish it off by just wrapping it around in the same place a few times. Just kind of back where we started. And there we go. My wish stick for good health for me and my family. I'm sort of a Buddhist, so I'm going to use this Buddha statue as my little altar for my wish sticks. I'm going to just put them in the Buddha's care. That's the one from my daughter. And the new one. Thank you, Buddha. And that's it from me. So hope you found this video useful. See you next time. Bye. I used to be so inhibited and such a perfectionist, but when I changed how I looked at my sketchbook, I was able to relax and let myself go and ultimately find a real sense of creative freedom. One of the reasons that I used to feel so inhibited about my sketchbook practice was the fact that I had lots of unspoken rules in my head. Especially when you're starting a new book, that first blank page can be so paralysing. When I started to see my sketchbook as a private place, I stopped worrying about how the final result would look, and I started to focus more on how I felt while I was creating. In this online workshop, I will cover some mixed media techniques. I also cover the mindset and ways of approaching your sketchbook practice to keep you free and uninhibited and have a really joyful experience of keeping a sketchbook. I think of my sketchbook as my refuge from the world. It's somewhere that I come back to when I need some creative recharge time. This practice has been such a joyful and life-giving process for me. If I can pass it on to only one person, I'll be so happy.